Hi there, Ankeet here from E4E Hub again. Today, it's time to look at one of the most frequent sources of mistakes in English grammar and in your IELTS speaking and writing modules. This area is called subject-verb agreement. To put it simply, this is where we ask ourselves, do I put a singular verb form or its plural form? So to warm you up, I would like you to tick the correct sentence in each pair. The first pair is, here it comes. Many government schemes prove useful for the poor. That's A. Sentence B. Many government scheme proves useful for the poor. I repeat, many government schemes prove useful for the poor. Sentence B. Many government scheme proves useful for the poor. Think about it. Which one do you feel is correct and why? Let's take the second pair. Look for the correct sentence here. Sentence A. The news of her father's demise was deeply painful. Sentence B. The news of her father's demise were deeply painful. I repeat, the news of her father's demise was deeply painful. Sentence B. The news of her father's demise were deeply painful. So, did you spot the error? It's one of the most common errors in English writing and speaking, not to mention in exams such as the IELTS, the PTE Academic and the TOEFL. It has to do with subject-verb agreement, which is also called noun-verb agreement. I'm sure by the end of this video, you will have got your answers and have known how to avoid making these errors. That's for sure. Now, the lesson is all about subject-verb agreements. So, are you ready? Coming up on the other side. When we speak or write in English, the subject of our sentence or clause must agree with our verb always, every time. This means if we have a singular noun as our subject, we must use the singular verb form to go with it. For example, my friend thinks that the video surveillance is an invasion of our privacy. So we have the singular noun, my friend, which sits happily with the singular verb form thinks. My friend thinks. There is no clash, no disagreement between them, making it a grammatically correct sentence. Let's take a look at when should we use a singular noun form. So all the cases where you must use singular noun. Firstly, we use singular noun forms with singular verb forms such as is, was, has, does, thinks, believes and so on. As in, the sports complex is situated on the outskirts of this city. Or there is a significant impact of the weather on our moods. We also use singular noun with indefinite determiners or articles a, an, or phrases containing one as in a child, one woman or an idea. Some nouns are more confusing than the others. They seem like plural forms but are actually considered singular in English. Words indicating uncountable nouns such as news, ethics are to be considered singular. Hence, they take a singular verb always. For example, the news about Scott and Lily's divorce was a bit upsetting. We wouldn't say the news about their divorce were a bit upsetting. No. Another example, ethics comes before everything else for Fortune 100 organizations. We wouldn't say ethics come before everything else. That would be a subject-verb disagreement. The same is the case for nouns indicating branches of knowledge such as social studies, politics, mathematics and physics. We always consider these as singular, not plural forms. Even though they look like plurals because they end with S, they are to be considered singular every single time. Example, while mathematics was my preferred subject in the past, politics is something I have started enjoying recently. We wouldn't say mathematics were my preferred subject or politics are something I have started enjoying lately. No, that would be an error. So be careful with nouns that are singular but seem to be plural and some uncountable nouns such as news and ethics. Be extra careful about these nouns because they seem like plural but are not. Okay, that's it about singular verbs. But when should we use plural nouns? The cases when plural have to be used. Well, first and foremost, use them with plural verb forms such as are, were, have, do, believe, think, and so on. Note that plural verb forms usually don't have an S or ES at the end of it verb. For example, many people feel that security cameras have invaded our privacy. Here we have two clauses joined by that. Each clause has a plural subject and its corresponding plural verb. In the first clause, we have the subject many people that goes with the plural verb feel. While in the second clause, we have the subject security cameras that agrees with the plural verb invade. So you can see both verb and subject are plural in form. Secondly, when we want to talk or write about numbers greater than 1, use plural forms. Example, 50 goals, 18 laps, 5 years. Got it? Hope you do. Next, we also use plural nouns in phrases that start with many or few. For example, it is argued that many cities all over the world are becoming stressful, but a few of them have taken measures to tackle this problem. Many cities are, few of them have. Last but not the least, all phrases containing the number of phrase must have plural noun forms. Example, a sharp increase in the number of cars has led to more pollution in the urban belt. Note here that even though we have a plural noun form, the number of cars, a singular verb has is used, not have. So saying the number of cars have increased is incorrect. An extra note of caution here, be careful with irregular nouns, the ones which have rather different singular and plural forms, such as one child, 20 children, a young man, many young men, a woman, 3 women, one tooth, many teeth, a person, 1,000 people. So all these are irregular nouns. You have to be careful about these. So saying that many childs are playing in the park would be absolutely incorrect because of the wrong noun form childs. It should be many children are playing in the park, not childs. Now that we have learned where to use singular and plural noun forms and some exceptional cases, let's get back to the two sentence pairs that we saw at the very beginning of this video, shall we? Okay, the first one goes something like this. You were asked which one of these two sentences are correct. Many government schemes prove useful for the poor. That was A. B. Many government scheme proves useful for the poor. And you had to pick one which is incorrect. Hopefully, you might have tried and got your answer. Since we have the plural noun form many government schemes, the verb form has to be plural. And keep in mind, the plural noun verb forms don't usually end in S at the end. Therefore, statement A is correct as both noun and verb are plural forms. Got it? Good. Let's take the second pair now. Pick the one which was incorrect. I hope you tried and you did. A. The news of her father's demise was deeply painful. B. The news of her father's demise were deeply painful. What's the subject here? The news, right? Do we consider the news as singular or plural. That means the verb form has to be singular because we treat news as a singular noun. Since were is plural form, the statement B is incorrect. Statement A is correct because both noun and verb forms are singular forms, so both are agreeing with each other. Okay, take this quick test now for yourself. Strike off the incorrect word in each sentence. There are lots of persons or people in my organization. 2. I enjoyed learning about business ethics. I found it or them very interesting. How many sessions or sessions do we have to attend tomorrow? Computer science has become very popular amongst females. The number of women studying this subject has tripled. Could you strike off the incorrect words there? Make the subject agree with the verbs? Hope you did. Do post your answers in the comments box below. And yes, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and click on the notifications bell icon so that you can stay updated about all our future lessons. That's it from me now. See you soon in the next lesson. Bye-bye. Happy learning. Take care.